Okay, so today you guys are going to be starting out drawing the initial object or main component for your non-objective, realism, and abstract images. Okay, so right now you will need to get an image of whatever it is you're choosing to do, whether that be a flower, a shoe, school supplies, baseball mitt and bat, whatever it is you want to choose as the subject of your picture. Okay, so mine, I'm going to demonstrate a Converse shoe with a leg right here. Okay, when you do this, you don't necessarily have to have a printed off picture. I'm just doing that so you guys can see my full example here. Okay, so have this pulled up on your computer screens. Okay, so you have something to look at while you are drawing it. Okay, then what you're essentially going to do here is you're going to lay your picture out in the direction of the way your picture is laying on your computer screen. So if it is a wide picture, you want to lay your piece of drawing paper nice and wide. Okay, if it is a vertical image, okay, like if it's like this up and down, then you will want to turn your image vertical. Okay, so keep it in corresponding with your image that you choose. Okay, then the first thing that you're going to do is just a basic outline or observational drawing of your object. Okay, now when you are doing this, you want to draw it big enough so it's fitting all the way across the page. Okay, now essentially we are going to have 3 different categories of this. Okay, if you want, you can pull up the instruction sheet for this. It should say something along the lines of realism, abstract, non-objective, handout instructions, and it goes through there on the paper step by step of the order of things to complete. Okay, so the first one is you're going to divide your paper into 3 sections, then you're going to fill it with an observational drawing. Okay, so what we're going to do here is you will need a ruler and a pencil. Grab my ruler. Okay, and you're going to divide your paper into 3 sections. So if it's sideways like this, okay, 3 sections this way. If it's vertical, it'll be 3 sections this way. All right. Now, I want to try to get this to be as even as possible. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this paper is 18 inches. I'm going to double check. Yep, it's 18 inches wide. Okay, so that means that each section of mine would be 6 inches. Okay, so I'm going to lay my ruler down at the edge here and lay the 0 against the edge of the paper and put a mark at 6 inches and a mark at 12 inches. Okay. And I'll do the same thing, top and bottom of the picture here, 6 inches and 12 inches, okay? If you're doing it vertically up and down, I believe it's 12 inches wide, yep. So you would put a mark at 4 inches and 8 inches, okay? Now, once I have those marks, then I can use my ruler to connect it and draw a line connecting those 2 marks. Okay. All right, so now I have 3 equally spaced sections on my paper that are 6 inches wide apiece. Okay. Now, from here is where we do our observational drawing. Okay. So when I'm doing this, I want to make sure that my main component stretches into each of these 3 categories. Okay. Now, if I was drawing this and I had it all in this middle category, that's going to be our realism area. Okay, you won't have anything to draw in your non-objective or your abstract area. So that's why it's important to make it draw into all 3 sections. So my shoe, even though in this image right here, it looks like it would only fit here, I'm going to enlarge it and draw it so it's filling up these 3 spaces equally. Okay, so I'm going to start and I'm going to draw a good portion of my shoe here, like the top where your foot goes in. That's going to kind of cover between the 2nd and 3rd section. Okay, and now notice how light I'm keeping my lines right now. I'm not really going too dark, okay, because I can always go back and erase these lines. I'm doing nice, like, sketchy lines, okay, really light. Drawing the base of the shoe, kind of comes down, and then goes up into this section, okay. So again, going nice and slow, really paying attention to the direction and the angles of everything. Okay. All right, so that looks like a pretty good outline for like just the outer part. Okay, you could always go in and clean some of this stuff up later. So I have a good portion in the middle, good portion in the left, and a good portion here on the right side. Okay, now I'm also going to start including some of the details that are inside the shoe. Okay, so like this sole part right here comes down, keeping it light right through here. Okay, I notice this white part here at the tip of the shoe kind of curves in like that. Okay, and then you can start going in and adding some more of those finer details as you see them. So now I'm kind of drawing in where that white stitching is going to be. And then I have all these little holes, okay, that will fill my shoelaces eventually. And then these all fit within this area. And then I can start drawing the actual laces. Okay. Going in and adding some more finer details. Okay. Now as far as what I can see here on my image, I'm not going to go in with the leg. Okay, I'm just going to include all the parts of the shoe here. Okay, I'm going to go finalize some more lines. All right. Okay, so now I have like the main component of my drawing done. It's going into those three sections, okay? And now I need to determine, okay, my middle right here, I know that's going to be realism, okay? So I'm just going to put an R really lightly so I can go back and erase it eventually, so I know this is going to be my realistic section, okay? Now I get to choose which side I want to be abstract and which side I want to be non-objective, okay? So you're going to label that accordingly, NO for non-objective and A for abstract, okay? Now from this point, okay, Ideally, what you should do, you can either start by coloring in your realistic section realistically, okay? So when you're doing this, I would definitely suggest colored pencils, okay? With colored pencils, you are going to be able to vary the amounts of pressure you are using. So if you have like light colors versus dark colors, medium tones, highlights, things like that, all of that stuff you want to include in your realistic section, because like if you took a photograph of it, you would be able to see all those values. Okay, so I would recommend colored pencil and trying to shade it and color it according to your photo. Okay, once you get to the abstract and non-objective, okay, there's going to be some other things that you're going to want to add. When you're looking at the instruction sheet, okay, like if you step over to number 3, it says add extra details to your abstract section. Make sure you can still identify some objects from real life, okay? So in your abstract area, you still want to be able to tell that it's a shoe, okay? However, don't want to make it look really realistic, okay? So like for my middle section here, I know I'm for sure going to use like whites, grays, and blacks to color in my shoe because that's what it is in my photograph. When I get to over here, maybe I could do something like make this bright yellow and make this like hot pink and then like brown or orange, okay? And then I can also go in like this picture here and add in extra little details for my background, like making it abstract, okay? Non-objective side, okay, when you get to that one, you're gonna try to hide your objects like this picture shows right here. You want to try to disguise them, okay? So whether that means like coloring on top or adding in extra things to your drawing, okay? Just like you did in the roll of dice game, all those different types of lines and shapes and things that you were drawing in there, same idea for this, okay? So again, I'm trying to disguise it by going in and adding in different things here. Now this part, you do not have to do it exactly like I am. I am just completely being free here and using my knowledge of non-objective art and not trying to make it look like anything specific. Okay, I'm just going in and doing a bunch of random stuff. All right, so again, I'm trying to disguise it and trying to hide different things within here. And I think so far with everything I've added, I've kind of done a good job of that. Okay, when you're coloring your non-objective, again, it's kind of like abstract where you don't want to make it look realistic, so you're going to use colors that are completely unrelated to your object that you choose. Okay, and then just follow all the instructions on the instruction sheet. Realism, add realistic details, realistic colors. Abstract, you want it to still look somewhat like your object, okay, but maybe change up those colors and start adding in different patterns and different textures and things in your background. And then non-objective, you want to try to hide it, okay? So you're drawing things on top of it, overlapping, drawing in different shapes, patterns, and things like that in your background as well. And again, you're still not coloring it completely realistic.